we will need to multiply decimals in the application of finding the circumference or distance around a circle. When we're given a circle, we will either be given the radius, which is the distance from the center of the circle straight out to the edge, or the diameter of the circle, which is a straight line through the center of the circle that touches both edges. This diagram is to show you that the diameter of a circle really goes into the circumference, the distance around, about 3 times. So it'll go around once, twice, 3 times, and then a little bit later, or a little bit more. That distance is noted by the number pi, which is around 3.14. As you know, pi is one of those interesting irrational numbers that goes on forever and doesn't repeat, but for our purposes, we're going to use 3.14, or 3 14/100ths, as the measurement for pi. So if we want to, we can use the formula pi times the diameter, or since the radius goes into the diameter twice, we can do 2 times pi times the radius. So depending on which you are given, you can use either or, they're going to give you the same thing. So if the radius is 7 feet, we will use the formula with radius. So to find the circumference, the distance around a circle that has a radius of 7 feet, we would need to take 2 times pi times that radius. And we said the radius is 7. What I'm going to urge you to do is rewrite this as 2 times 7 times pi. So multiply the whole numbers first. 2 times 7 is 14. In sciences, you can say that the circumference of this circle is 14 pi. But for our purposes, we're going to need to actually multiply the decimals. So we're going to take 14 times 3.14. Now, when we're multiplying decimals, since the 3.14 has more decimals, we don't need to add decimals and zeros. We can just change the order of this and put the 14 down here. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 3 times 4 is 12. We move over into the next decimal place, so we have to put a 0 here. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. And 1 times 3 is 3. We'll add them all up. 6 plus 0 is 6. 5 plus 4 is 9. 2 plus 1 is 3. And 3 plus 1 is 4. I had 2 digits to the right of my decimal here, so I need to have 2 digits to the right of my decimal here. And estimating, like we did earlier, around 3 times 14 would be 42. Well, this is a little bigger than 3, so my answer should be a little bigger than 42, and it is. In this case, so that would mean that the distance around a circle that has a radius of 7 feet would be around 43.96 feet. Anytime we're using pi, notice how I used a wavy equal sign up here. This is not an exact amount, it is an approximation. This, when we don't put in a value for pi, this is an actual number. We're not approximating anything here. But as soon as we turn pi into 3.14, we are now approximating, and you should note that by using a wavy equal sign. Here, we are saying that the diameter of a circle is 16 inches. We can use just pi times the diameter in that case. So we'll put pi on the top because it is the longer number. And now we'll just multiply as normal. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8. And 6 times 3 is 18. I move over to the next place. I put a 0 down. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. And now I'll add it all up. 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. 8 plus 2 is 10. 3 plus 2 is 5. I had 2 digits to the right of my decimal point here, so I need to have 2 digits to the right in my answer. 3 times 16 is 48, so a little bit bigger than 3 times 16 should be a little bit bigger than 48, and it is. Keeping in mind, my unit here was inches, so that means if I have a circle that is 16 inches straight across, the distance around that circle is around 50.24 inches.